reminding everybody that through the early 2020 phase here in this year, esports is the only thing that you could watch. So here we are. We're going to continue on. Our pick and bans are ready for our first matchup, so let's go with it. It's the Izako Boars versus Bekind. Our lobby is pretty much ready. Again, Polish team versus the French. Bekind that unfortunately had a rough time. Oregon, good lord. Can you please shed some light on this? Because Bekind had the final say, and unfortunately, they haven't really been speaking too loud in the past couple playdays.
Yeah, they haven't been speaking too loud. Let's just say that in the French league, they also got 7-0'd by Penta. Whilst I'm going to be pulling up what map that was actually on. That wasn't really the best result for them, and considering they are also in their group, they also have to play for them in the Challenger League as well. So you might think that like the French League might not be their primary point. Challenger League will definitely be. How much more will the 7-0 be? But that was in Cafe actually, the 7-0. So
I was about to say, it's their first ban. They wanted to remove it instantly. And if anything, if you look at the spread of Bekind and how they played in the French League and how they played in this, it's unfortunately a joint sad story. They haven't really been able to find the marks on either side. We had it before where there were the argument of teams that were in Tier 1 and Tier 2. Well, generally Tier 1 beforehand and in the national leagues. They were still performing well on one or the other. Bekind haven't found foot in either. Yes, and I guess the Boars, for me, this is the game that they might be able to pull points on what could be the harder group of the two. It seems like it could get a little bit runaway with the top 3 teams.
All right, FluCap, thanks so much for your introduction. We'll see you back after this matchup, my king and queen. But let's toss it over to yet another one of our resident king and queen duos for this, Geo and Dev. That'll kick off this first matchup of day 2 of Spooktober. Let's go.
Do you ever think Milos gets sick of how many kings and queens he has, knowing that he is not one?
Is he the Joker then?
I guess that's what
he
doesn't like that.
Well, it's time to get into the map here. Izako Boars versus Bekind. Thank you for the intro, guys. It's Polish team versus Bekind. Now, Gio, Bekind are yet to find a single round in the Challenge League so far. Is today the chance to break that?
I think this is going to be their best opportunity. Obviously, as they mentioned on the desk, Izako Boars also didn't have a particularly easy time last week. Bekind, who went up against M&M Gaming, arguably the best team in this group, obviously had the tallest task they were going to face, and this could be where things are somewhat evened out and their opportunity to gain some points. Kicking things off with the first ban, and that's going to be a Maverick.
Pretty classic ban here on Oregon, and if we look at the previous results on this very map from both of these teams, they played it 3 times for Bekind. It was all in the French League. They were 7-2'd by BDS. Now, that's not something to be too upset about. BDS is the best team in the region. They play a pretty good Oregon as well. But Bekind actually found 2 draws, one against Forks and one against Maestria. One against Orbit and Forks. So, hey, that's not so bad. They got 6 rounds in each of those games. Izako Boars, last time they played was actually in the Polish Masters loser bracket final, in which they were 7-0'd by Slavjet. Now, if you look a little bit further back, they also lost it to Devils 1 in the semis, and during the regular season, they beat a team called Invicta. So, overall results, the Boars have won this once, lost it twice. Bekind lost it once, never won it. They've got 2 draws. Now, I can't really sway either way which team this favors as a result of that.
I think it's very hard to judge, especially as here in Challenger League, we've obviously only seen them each play once, and also saw a number of mistakes come out from each team. I mean, I'm going to have to look at the players Legends and Rivers from Bekind, both of whom got a rating of 0 and a cost of 0, as well as no kills in their game against M&M. And we mentioned how much of an oppressive force M&M Gaming are. That really is a different tier of team. But the point is, you want to come into Challenger League, you want to prove yourself as a player. Even if your team doesn't make it through, you want to prove that other orgs maybe can pick you up. You have what it takes. And statistics like that aren't what it takes. This is their chance to get their names on the board.
And to go back to the ban phase, the operators for a second, Bekind banned out the Thatcher and the Wamai. That's the standards. It's what they did against BDS on this map. Not actually what they did against the 2 other teams they played in the French League, but it's the same thing that Izako Boars banned against Slavjet in their last game, but it's the Maverick and Mira that the Polish take off the board. Operators that they have actually not banned on this map before, but albeit they always ban the Wamai, which Bekind got to first. The Maverick, though, having that on top of the Thatcher ban is really going to change the way that Oregon works, and it's going to, in particular, make the Kaid just an insanely powerful operator, particularly on that downstairs objective. Later on, I'm hoping that we'll get to see that claw placed on the meeting hatch in such a place where it can't be destroyed by Kali, which I expect to be picked reasonably regularly on this map, despite Bekind not taking us into the table the first time around.
You can also see that they've set up very much for vertical play, opening up the holes in the upstairs floors, so that should Bekind begin to make the plant, Izako Boars players who most likely will be playing downstairs will have the opportunity to deny, whether that be with a C4 or merely through their guns. But already Bekind have made their way into the building.
Yeah, wow, very good early control. Only 30 seconds down. Walker already in trophy with good control. You can see that drone just ahead of him means that one of his teammates or himself did drone ahead. Great early control here for Bekind, but next step is obviously to open up that closet wall. Walkero at the moment just watching flanks. Throws one stun grenade in to take down that ADS. There's a trade downstairs. Mexes opens up the round, taking down the Zofia player, but is traded.
Nexus, who is arguably the most valuable player on Izako Boars in their game against Penta, the only one who went positive in his rating and his KD, taken off the board. That's quite a brutal disadvantage for Izako Boars, who may struggle without him, especially if Bekind continue on with this relatively aggressive push.
You can get in really early, but it doesn't make a difference unless if you start to capitalize upon that. That's why we'll need to see Zidane breach this wall. Selma goes out. There doesn't appear to be any kind of denial. A C4 actually through, and indeed that will deny that final little detonation of the Selma, but that is a vaultable hole, and an extra charge from the ace will make that walkable.
Yeah, now Royal's going to be droned from one side and also have pressure applied to him from the other, as Walkero is still in trophy. So it could be quite difficult for him to move because, of course, he's going to have to cross the line of sight that's been created by the Selma if he is to do that. But ours is going to be the next one to go down. That puts Izako Boars in this decided disadvantage, losing Royal once again as well.
Foster downstairs, tempts out a flank, but sees the drone, takes it out, and does not go for the flank. Retakes this position at top white. Pretty good crossfire here for the Boars, but with good control from Bekind and that numbers advantage, it's only a matter of time before the Polish start to feel that heat. A gas canister to go out. That is indeed, I believe, the last one remaining. And Zidane to throw down a smoke. This is where things begin for the French.
Are they going to go in for the plant? They do lose Legends. That puts them at an even weaker position, but not as weak as Izako Boars were. And Bekind take their first round not only of this match, but of Challenger League so far.
There you go, they're not getting 7-0'd. I think that's a cause for celebration, right? These guys got 7-0'd in their debut into CL. They went back to the French League, got 7-0'd again. I know Bekind, let's not faff about here. Bekind got roasted on Twitter. People weren't so happy. People were saying, oh, they don't deserve to be here. I know so many other good T2, T3 teams that could take their position. Bekind, that's a lot of pressure to put on that team, saying, you don't deserve to be here. You better show it. And hey, one round, it's the first step, right? If they can take a win here against the Boars, I think that'll definitely quell a lot of the doubts that the community has in this French team.
It's definitely a valid point, especially as Bekind ended up coming 7th, or at least they are right now placed 7th. No, it's in French League Season 2. They're 7th place. That is obviously not near the top 2 that most of the nationals end up looking at to decide which teams are going to qualify for Challenger League. Now, obviously, you had teams like BDS and like Vitality, these top tier 1 teams, Tempra being another one, you have to go against. It makes it very hard to hope that you're going to make it into the top 2. And so, naturally, having come so far down in the standings, it puts you at a disadvantage against these other teams who will have done so much better in their respective nationals.
Yeah, so how it happened is that the French League had only done a couple of their playdays, about half their season, by the time that the automatic qualifier spot for whatever top placed non-EUL French team was in the league. And of course, with multiple teams from EUL being French and playing in that French league, we've got Vitality and BDS. And of course, we also have Penta, who had pre-qualified from Challenge League Season 11. It meant that Bekind got that default spot with only a few playdays in. And last season in 2019, they actually came 8th and were forced down into relegations. This season, as you said, currently sitting in 7th place. Remembering that 8th place team has actually been disqualified or no longer is in the league. So they are literally last in their league right now. They have everything to prove.
Nexus is going to move away as his shield gets taken away from him quite early. Remember, he went down pretty early in the last round, but he was the aggressive gunner from the game before, and he swings around and peeks, but he can't make it work for himself as Volcaro was perfectly ready. The Zofia lifelines go in, aided by his support.
Look at that. Things are finally looking up, Millhouse. 5 versus 3 for Bekind on this bomb site that should most definitely be favoring the defense, especially with that Mav and Thatcher ban. There's no way you can get that meeting hatch open thanks to the way it's been clawed up using Kaid. But indeed, an aggressive push down the bottom of the main stairs gets Legend 1 kill. And then a nice little reinforcement from Royal. But Walkero finds his second. The Boars can't help themselves. They're trying to play aggressive. And now in a 2 versus 5, they know that their only shot is to start finding some picks. That's the first one. Good job, Royal, but a lot more to find here.
A nice headshot. Actually, that's going to be 2, so maybe Izako Boars can start to claw it back. I was concerned that maybe they would have lost too much control of this site, given that there's only 2 of them left. And really, once you get that north side of the site as an attacker, you can just push on in, but it looked like that wasn't going to be the case. Legends, he's coming in through the laundry side, and the question is, do Izako even know that he is there? They could get caught from behind as Royal starts to peek round through into box, looking for those players who may be in pillar. The wall gets open and the nade comes flying in, and there we go, the final kill onto Royal, leaving just hours on his own, holding in Freezer. He obviously can't set up a crossfire as there's only 1 of him left, and there's another nade, walks straight into the line of sight of Walkero, and Bekind. Looking pretty on point so far.
2 back-to-back rounds. Suddenly things are looking very much doable here. On the attack, no less, with Maverick and Thatcher banned, no less. The Boars are giving Bekind these early engagements, and Bekind are happily lapping them up. Not only was there that aggressive peak in the early round from Mexus, but also, if you recall, a nice push down the main stairs from Legends. No one was watching. I don't believe that the laundry double door was barricaded, and that meant that Legends could basically peek aggressively all the way deep into that bomb site, find a player who was no doubt unawares. And a 5 versus 2, while it did become a 3v2 thanks to some successful peaks from Royal and ours in turn, well, you're probably not going to win that, even best case scenario. Oh, here's a nice mute jam, and not only does that mute up the stairs, any drones coming down, but it also mutes up that hatch, thank you, Easy, so that it's very difficult to breach that hatch. Keeping in mind that Thatcher and Maverick are banned, and with that mute on that front hatch and the Kaid Electroclaw that will no doubt come onto this meeting hatch from just to the south of that doorway, it's basically impossible to get either of those hatches. Honestly, I can't really think of any way you could get those, destroy that utility. So should be a really strong anchor from the defense, which is why it's so funny that the Boars just lost that so decisively.
I mean, obviously you have to remember that it was Legends on the sledge who came from behind in laundry and snuck on through without Izako Boars knowing. So having that mute jammer placed there is definitely going to give them more power in preventing a sneaky push from behind, particularly if they do lose players early like what happened before.
Yeah, it means that Legend won't be able to just drone down the stairs. I didn't catch whether that mute jammer was there in the previous round, but if so, it meant that it was a big risk for the sledge to push down the stairs. But for now, Bekind looking very much same. Kicking things up with a blue take. Seeing that barbed wire, nice open electrical wall. Wasting the ADSs. Remembering that Wamai being banned. Ooh, that flashbang actually... Oh, look at that, it's been abandoned already. Elbows being reinforced off. And no doubt with the noise that makes, Bekind will be aware.
I think it's probably a good decision from Izako Boars as they just want to prioritize their longevity, which is something that didn't work out too well from them last time. But Mexus, he's getting the first kill, so suddenly things looking different to what they did before. And maybe this could be the turning of the tables here for Izako Boars, who still need to find their first win of this game.
Well, this bomb site should definitely favor the defense if they just play passive. Now with the numbers advantage, yes, pillar control was forfeited, but things should looking pretty good for the Boars. But you can tell the Polish here, they like to have a bit of an aggressive playstyle. Ours is already on the roam, and Mex's is ready to join. Just checking to see if there's anyone watching for this flank. Electing the MP5K instead of the shotgun on mute does give ours a little bit more firepower, especially with that 1.5 times sight for the longer engagements. Bekind don't have full map control, and they also don't have a solid avenue onto the bomb site. Looks grim.
As you say, watching out for the flanks. Nomad's not very far away, though, so Nexus could find himself get air jabbed if one has been placed in the vicinity as he moves down the tower stairs. And you can tell that I think that's what he's looking for as he's crouched around the doorway, and there is one just above it. He's looking for it, and there we go, finally.
Pop. That enables the flank. 2 players here. It's only a matter of time. Be kind. Surely there's no drone watching this. They would be slightly more aware. Rivers is about to cop some lead in the backside and on drone as well. Mexes, the freest kill he's ever had in his career. All he needs to do is peek. The players are looking the other way, but he doesn't need to. Even if Be kind begin to execute, the Boars have this in the bag. Mexes, he started this round strong, and he's about to get some gifts.
This is funny. Oh, God, get it. Okay, he finally did it. Can he get the second one? Yes, he can. He secures it for himself. Royal and Foster brought down in the same breath, though, which means Be kind. They are still on the back foot. There's another kill, and Izako Boars. They finally take their first round, but I have to say, that is funny how you say about Mexis, all he needs to do is peek. I was talking to Jess earlier, who used to be the coach of Mexis' old team, and she said one of his worst habits is he always peeks. He just needs to learn to control his peeks. And it seemed like that was almost the wrong time to control your peeks too much. But in the end, it worked out.
Well, credit to him. Like I was saying, yes, it was a free kill if he peeked, but he had no reason to peek. He didn't need to. His teammates on site weren't getting pushed yet, and they had full site control. Honestly, like, he could have waited to peek until Bekind started planting, and he would still be in a better position. But, I mean, that was just a situation where Bekind was basically never going to win that round unless they hit some miracle shots and Boars whiffed, which credit to Mexis actually nearly did whiff that. He went for the one-tap onto the Nomad, missed the one-tap, decided to go for the spray
We
instead.
don't talk about that. Oh, no, now we've got a replay, so maybe we do talk about that.
Here we go.
Is it he hesitated, and I was like, do it, click the button, do it! He did it.
Oh, and those are the moments where time slows down and you just watch yourself and you get in your own head. But look, rounds continue. Izako Boars return upstairs now to dorms where their first failed defense was, and Be kind still electing not to bring the Kali. It's a bit of a surprise to me. Interesting to see the Boars have a form of redundancy on that Waldenal there, the Mute Jammer and the Electroclaw. What you would typically see is, with no Maverick and no Thatcher, and no Kali, just because it's not been chosen by Bekind, the main way to deal with that util would be going below, and a Zephyr or Ash Charge on the roof of Classroom will destroy that Mute Jammer, but it won't destroy the Claw, because the Claw is too far away. It's out of reach of the explosion. So, a bit of a redundant Mute Jammer there, but be a bit difficult for Bekind to get rid of that.
Once again, Walker has come in very quickly, moving back to the master bedroom rather than staying in Trophy, which is where he was before. Of course, tried to trap Royal, who I believe was on the Kaid last time and stuck in the games room even after the wall had been opened. There he is in a very similar position now, but it will be Foster to get the opening kill, and that's Legends going down.
Second round in a row for him as well. There's some Vert to come through. Mexis is downstairs as well to roam, but didn't catch how Bekind cleared that Waldenal, but they did so. I'm guessing it was vertically. The player just exited Classroom. And the ace detonates on the wall, so that's a breach onto the bomb site. Not too shabby for Bekind, but numbers disadvantage and still multiple roamers not addressed. Oh my god, Rivers is right there. I didn't even realize this, but Rivers and Mexis are basically kissing right now. They just don't realize it.
Rivers and Mexis sitting in a tree.
Oh, he's gonna get thrown.
One's gonna kill one. Who will it be? Okay, well, Mexis is running away, so he's scared now.
Oh, well. I would be too if there was a Nomad running around trying to kiss me.
That would have been too... Oh, come on. She's not that bad looking.
No, that's not what I meant. Just trying to social distance, you know. Yeah.
Oh, that's very true. Social distance, kids, wear a mask. Well, Mexus has come back round to the top of the white stairs, and is he going to get caught out?
Almost. Still a minute left. Foster, very low HP. So is Ryber on site. Mexus as well. But Alice finds the first kill before traded. Bekind, still trying to deal with this breach. Plenty of time to execute, but numbers are dwindling.
40 seconds remaining, and the diffuser is sat in the games room wall breach. Walkero's just looking to see what shots he can take. He's going to have to provide whatever support he can to the team just being him and Rivers, because there's still 4 members of Izako Boars standing, and time running out, as you say, but he doesn't actually survive to tell the tale, and nor does his teammate. Another round for Izako Boars.
The Roamers never cleared out. Bekind just focused on that site, but I think the Nomad downstairs was the sole player to be watching for the flanks, but eventually, well, the Roam, I guess, got the better. The thing is, the Roam never actually had to kill that Nomad player, just dealing damage and wasting time, especially as Foster already had that opening pick. Bekind didn't really have a way to execute, and you could tell they were lacking a bit of confidence there by the end of it. Kitchen Dining Hall is on the agenda next for the Boars, as they've just won 2 defensive bomb sites. They'll be forced onto their third choice. And Bekind not looking quite so hot as they did in their first 2 rounds. A lot of work ahead of them. I can't help but think that bringing a Kali would make some things so much easier. That said, they didn't struggle with clearing the wall denial off of the games room wall from below, so I will credit them that. They are, however, somewhat struggling with these roamers.
Yeah, you know, I think the fact that Royal, the way that he was playing on the Kaid, wasn't so far forward that he could necessarily challenge whoever was down below in Classroom, as well as a team who would choose to play a bit more courageously in that position. But as you mentioned, the Roamers, Nexus has obviously been out and about as they realize that being able to play the flank is definitely going to benefit them. And as you say, not quite something Bekind have done as well on, as the rounds that they did do better on, they all stayed very close together and just used the aggression against the more passive play that Izako were exhibiting.
So Dining, next bomb site. A lot of vertical presence upstairs. The Boars do not want to get flushed out here, in particular of Kids Dorms. That's the pivotal position. That hatch in Kids Dorms has an angle all the way deep into the default plant spot. Thank you, Easy. We're going to see it now, all the way to this couch right here where people like to plant. In fact, they've not reinforced this main dining wall. That forces Bekind to forfeit some of their soft breach utility, as we see Walkero do just now, rather than using the ace, which they might have done otherwise. Now the drones come through. You can see Bekind is very objective focused. At the moment, they're just seeing what the situation is on the bomb site. 2 drones in their Zayden and Rivers both, but of course it's not as simple as, all right guys, let's go plant. Reba has a great shield to hide behind, which could be dealt with in a moment. Wait a second, was that lifeline charge meant for the shield? I think it must have been. Now there's an ADS here. Surely this Goyo shield needs to be dealt with.
It's going to keep on protecting him if it can't be dispatched with, and so far Bekind have obviously failed to do that. And you mentioned how their soft breach utility had to be used to get the shower's wall open, so that means they have less of it at their disposal to even be able to deal with this one piece of defensive utility. Yep. Okay, there we go.
Finally. I don't know what was the deciding factor there, honestly. I didn't quite hear which util broke that, but there you go. I know Walkero still had 1 Ash left, so yeah, it wasn't that. It may well have been one of the Selmas from Zayden. But another crucial position that hasn't been flushed out is in showers. And Foster still has a shield to hide behind, as well as a reinforcement. Zayden has not breached that as of yet. Bekind once again droning out Dining. They really want to get this plant down, but it's going to be very difficult to do so with not only the presence in showers, but the smoke on the bomb site who can start gassing this out, and the player prone on top of the hatch as well. They're just going to go for it. This is very risky.
Well, they have to take the opportunity at some point, and that point is now. Down goes the plant, but down goes a couple of members.
What? Where did you come from?
Vertical support isn't going to be there anymore as Legend's flank, his legendary flank, worked out, and now he gets to watch for the denial of the disable. Can he get this one player who's come up to deal with him? No, he can't. Foster wins out that engagement, and that significantly puts Izako Boars in a position to be able to deal with the post plant. Another kill for Mexis, but he also will be taken down. It's a 2 versus 2, and the seconds are ticking away for anyone to be able to deal with this diffuser. Only Foster stands, and you can see the air jabs going out to prevent him from making this endeavor work. There's one kill. What? Can he get a second one? El Chico is the only player left remaining. He's up in office, but there's fewer than required seconds, so he won't be able to do it anyway. Bekind finally put another round on the board.
And hey, I was critical of Bekind for not dealing with the plant denial and the ground that Izako Boars had to facilitate that denial of the plant. But hey, Bekind was just like, nah, let's go for it, guys, and we'll make it happen. Guess what they did? There's a minute on the clock when they tried that plant, and I don't know whether the confusion was that Boars didn't have info on site. They didn't know where the plant was going from. But yeah, it did not work out to my very surprised self. And hey, well, that's a nice round for Bekind. I'm most confused about how Legends was able to just enter kid's bedroom and take out that player on the hatch.
I remember seeing much earlier in the round. It was when we were talking about the shield that was in dining not being able to be taken down. And I remember seeing Legends drop down from small tower to the outside beside kitchen and sort of run off. And I remember thinking, okay, he's gonna, I guess, come round through meeting hall and come in through kitchen. But instead what he did was obviously head on upstairs to go for a much broader flank and try and deal with the defender who was watching the hatch, which is obviously very common. But he did it in a sneaky way that meant that no one noticed until it was too late.
Yeah, which is strange because we saw at the very start of the action phase, there were actually 3 Boars players upstairs in a position to protect, well, I guess 2 players to protect and 1 player to look down through that hatch. So it was a bit of a surprise to me. I felt like the Boars just didn't quite have info on what the go was there. I'm actually going to have a look on the replays on my laptop to see what really happened there. Legends actually found the first kill was literally that guy who died on the hatch. That's what's crazy. No, there were 2 players up there, and Legends got both of them. They were completely unawares, which is a bit of an oversight, I guess you could say, from the guys on the Boars. But hey, they get to go back to their favorite bomb site. They should end this half as a 3-3. And look, if not, I'd be pretty disappointed because this operator ban phase has definitely swung the way of the defense, in my opinion. And of course, we're in a bit of a defensive favored meta at the moment. So see whether Izako Boars can keep their footing.
Yeah, obviously the first time they came here, it didn't work out for them, but they managed to fix those problems the following time. Remember Mexis going on a very big roam. Once again, Legends is heading down towards Laundry, but Reba was ready for him. They weren't going to let him get away with what he was able to do before. And suddenly it does look like Izako Boars could get this for themselves.
That's the power of that jammer right there. You notice that multiple times Legends was trying to get on drone. Not many people realize that it's not just the mute jammer that jams the drones itself, but actually jams any player standing in it. So if you try and get on your drone, even if your drone is on the other side of the map, but you're standing in a mute jammer, your observation tool will not work. It jams any signals in or out of your observation tool. And that's why Legends tried to get down a little bit further to get on his drone, to get out of that radius, but the peak came out from ours. Perfect stuff. But Bekind, looks like they've got boiler control now, and that's quite significant.
Well, they had beat this before. Didn't always work out, but you definitely don't want to discount them, especially if we can see Walkero delivering the kind of performance he did back in those early 2 rounds. He's trying to keep an angle down the hallway, but instead will shoot through the soft wall in towards supply. No rush so far, as we have under a minute remaining, and it's a 4 versus 5. Foster's just ready and waiting for anyone to move in through box. Of course, there is the barbed wire right there that will be a hindrance to any of the attackers. There's actually going to be El Chico getting the next one. That was onto Foster, in fact, so that's going to open up that avenue a bit better, but Mexis turns around and he says, no, I'm still going to be defending this team. I'm still defending this site, and you can't get through me.
Very much a heavy anchor here for the Boars, but that might be what the doctor ordered. Walkero trying to quite literally walk down the main stairs, but this barricade re-barricaded up. will reveal his position. The spray comes out. Mexus deals a lot of damage. The plant can't go down because of all the gas on the other side. The peak comes through. The gas denies the plant. All on Zayden, and he's finished off by Reba as well. A great finish to that round for the Boars, and they managed to end their half 3-3.
Just as you predicted, Dev. God, you were so clever.
Oh,
how do you do it?
Gia. I don't know. It's just the coffee and the 1:30 a.m. brain hours, you know?
I don't drink coffee, so maybe that's my problem.
It's also not 1:30 a.m. where you are, so maybe that's part of the problem.
True. It's 4:30 p.m.
I'm jealous, actually. I'm very, very jealous. Is there still sun outside?
I think so. I've closed my curtain. Let me have a look. Yeah, I mean, it's been raining a lot here, so it's grey.
Oh, you live in England, right?
I do.
Well, you don't need to tell me it's raining. I already know.
People actually get surprised to find out that it gets very hot here a lot of the year. Very hot and sunny. But at this time of year, it gets a bit miserable. So...
All right.
There you go.
Didn't ask for your life story, Gia.
I just need someone to listen, you know? Well, I think one of the good things that we can take from this game so far is that for both of these teams, regardless of which way it swings, they've both now done better than they did in the first week. Given that they suffered a 7-0 and a 7-2 against Eminem and Penta, respectively, 3-3, you've at least got 3 rounds. That's good. That's improvement.
That's good stuff, yeah? And in particular for Bekind, who just finished their attacking half. 3 rounds on the attack with Mav and Thatcherban. That's pretty good. I mean, yes, Mira and Wamai both very powerful defenders here on Oregon. The Wamai gone means that it's much more difficult to rely on the shield meta and protecting those bulletproof utilities. We definitely saw that Bekind was really adept at dealing with that. Oh, that's why we're seeing the Twitch, I think, actually here as well, to support the attackers in clearing out those ADSs. That's really the priority. If you can destroy 1, maybe 2 ADSs with a Twitch drone, that is huge. Mexus to clear that deployable shield. Boom, it goes off, and once again we're seeing a blue take here with no Kali.
Appreciate the onomatopoeia. I think it's great if they can get the Twitch drones to work, because obviously we saw when they were attacking, or rather when things were the other way around, but there was the attack onto Dining, we did see the ADSs eat up the lifelines from Zafir, and it's just not a position that you want to find yourself in. If you can avoid that, obviously give yourself as much soft destruction utility as possible to your disposal. It's really going to help facilitate your attack.
I think the Selmas or the smoke grenades from Ace were just used to burn ADSs. Interesting choice. I wonder how many he has left. Admittedly, we don't see a lot of hard breach utilized with this setup. What is that? Zayden finds the first kill. Mexus bites off a bit more than he could chew, and I believe he died with a breaching charge still in the pocket. That's pretty huge. Zayden holding on to the elbow much more significantly compared to what we saw from the Boars, and that's 2 for him. El Chico takes advantage of the chaos to find 1 as well.
No way.
And the Boars have walked straight into the meat grinder, met with a flawless round from the French.
It seemed like a bit of an overzealous attempt from the Izako Boars, who just, as you so eloquently put it, walked straight into the meat grinder. They knew that the elbow control was still being held, the shield hadn't been cleared out. There was no reason for Zayden to back off into supply and close up the rotate that he will have used. So what did they do? They just keep walking in? They know that he's there.
This is the plot thickens, as they say. This is a very good start for Bekind on their defense. And like I was saying, I really think this is a defensive-sided fan phase, especially this kind of operator veto that we pass through here. It's the kind that becomes very difficult to deal with, but the teams that are best at dealing with this are the best teams. And I know that sounds a bit silly. It's like, of course, Dev, the best teams are going to be dealing with this. But the less utility, the more utility that the defenders have, and the less obvious counters that the attackers have, for example, your Thatcher and your Maverick, obvious counters to Wield and all, the harder it gets for attacking teams. And the teams that are good at countering that, teams that are good at playing without Thatcher, are the really good teams. And remember that we are here, this is tier 2. You know, this isn't the EUL, and I don't want to take anything away from these teams. They're very strong teams, they're playing really well, but it requires really good coordination, really efficient use of utility to play in an operator veto such as the one we're in right now. And that's why I'm really concerned for the attacking side. So if the defenders play passive, play from their power positions, which is what we saw from Bekind just then, playing off of that shield, it gets really hard for the attackers. And the thing that concerns me is I think the Boars let a few rounds slip too early on their attack because they were over-peaking, because they weren't playing from their power positions. They were playing to what is more traditional of their playstyle, which is quite aggressive and a playstyle that the Polish do love, which is great. But you're not taking advantage of the operator veto, and that's why I'm concerned here, because Bekind are off to a really, really good start.
Out goes one of those black eyes, so that Legend, who is on the flank, will have more information to provide both to himself and his team, but it doesn't look like anyone is approaching Small Tower. The Twitch wasn't too far away at the start. That's been played by Foster, but he's gone upstairs, so not going to be caught out at this point in time, and that should actually give him an opportunity to move in now that the Valkyrie has changed position.
How's this attack, though, from the Boars? Lots of drones already gone, keeping in mind that Twitch does not have any normal drones. She only has her Twitch drones, which are more often than not used to clear utility rather than gather info, especially as sent in. Can't manage to get over that little gap, trying to take out the ADS. That's a good one, and the Mute Jammer as well. Decent value out of that Twitch drone, but remember, that's one of those pivotal information gathering utility gone from the Boars. And we look at the lineup. Ours completely out. Max has only one drone left, same with Reba. Royal is the only one with all of their drones remaining. And this is going to get difficult for the Boars to figure out what the go is. And that ADS is still a second one in there, so that's wasted. An Ash charge.
Well, El Chico's going to have to get more aggressive. That's what happens as he brings down ours. Because those ADSs got dispatched with, he no longer can rely on that kind of protection. So we just see him moving forward. The diffuser getting dropped, but he gets killed on the armory window. It's a nice way to turn things around, but Bekind is still sitting ahead in this situation as just Royals and Foster still stand. The diffuser has been collected there by Royal, but the question is, where are all these defenders that they have to deal with? He still can't move in through the wall just yet because he doesn't know which angles are being held. No one to be found in tower as he looked through that door, but it is Volkero who's ready and waiting should that happen. In goes the drone. Now he knows of those positions, but he still can't see anything. There's a smoke to push him back, and he takes a hefty amount of damage for those efforts. Foster securing a kill for himself, but can he add on to the kill count as he's the only one left? Now he just has to deal with two more players on Bekind. If he can catch them out, this will be a win for Izako Boars, but he's got minimal time left at just 1 second remaining. It looks like it's not going to work out in his favor, and Bekind take another defensive round.
Fantastic judgment from Bekind to play for their lives there. They knew they had the diffuser down. They didn't get too aggressive. They didn't give Foster the fights that he was looking for. Once again, Bekind, they've maintained a decisive lead here since switching on to their defense. And this is where the Boars start to be concerned. Couple of blunders here and there. The Twitch would have called out that she took down the ADS, and then the Ash tried to clear out some of the util, didn't realize there was actually another ADS in the room on a different part. Mex's was eventually taken down. A really good aggressive peek as well from, it was actually El Chico. Bekind, they're playing aggressive when they need to, and when it's smart, when it's advisable. And Izako Boars, well, they have good gun skill, really great entry from Foster at the end there, but that alone doesn't get you the wins.
I mean, look, we've given them some flack for the fact that they didn't come very high in the standings in the French League. And obviously some of that is because of the sheer power of the French League and the number of French EUL teams we have taking those top spots. But it's a very competitive region. And we also have to bear in mind that this is a team who did win against Team Vitality. And that's why the results from last week will have been quite tough on them, because they played against M&M on Clubhouse, which was the map that they beat Vitality on. So it's a testament to how strong M&M are. It's a team that have been around for a very long time. But I think seeing how this game is going, you can definitely tell that it's not all because, oh, Bekind, they don't deserve to be in Challenger League. They're terrible. No, we're seeing some good play from them. And as it stands right now, Izako Boars are the ones on the back foot.
Yeah, I'm loving this. Bekind really didn't get a chance to show off much in their previous game against M&M, and they're doing fantastically here. They are well and truly looking like the better team, not just because they're winning, but their play style, their strategies. I mean, this round in particular, right? They're playing kitchen meeting, which is the less common these days than kitchen dining. And they've got some creative strategies as well with the castle presence upstairs. The Boars droning, doing a lot of droning, in fact, to try and just figure out what this strategy is. And due to that, they've already lost 2 of their drones. Unsure how many Foster still has remaining. But the Boars starting to mount their push, and they do find the first pick. El Chico goes down.
That could be a big loss, as he was obviously a very aggressive player in that last game who secured 2 kills before going down. But there's another one to be shot on to Bekind as Reba heading around upstairs looking for those players. Add another one to his kill count. Okay. Now things are looking very much stronger for Izako Boars. He looks to gain control as he gets a shot into meeting from above, but that's actually onto his own teammate. Mexis starts to turn things around. There's the plant. It's beginning. And Izako Boars, a flawless round that didn't seem to last very long, shutting Bekind down.
All right, Boars, I see you. I was crediting BK their strategy here, and Boars just picked them apart. A bit of an oversight, I think, from Bekind. Maybe that's a bomb site they haven't scrimmed as much. They haven't had a chance to try out that strategy because they did just let one player solo into attic, and that's such a powerful position on this bomb site. Getting control above that meeting room is pivotal for basically taking it. You can clear basically any position in meeting from that attic and cover the plants in meeting from that attic. So the fact that we saw the sledge player of Reba just solo that and find 2 kills, that's the really standout thing to me. But for Bekind, they're like, all right, guys, just whatever, that's our off-bomb site. We can go back, we've still got laundry we can go to, and then win or lose this round, we can head over to dorms. So I can still very much see this swinging as a 7-4 for Bekind. That was a critical round for the Boars, because had they not won that round, they would have to win both laundry and dorms, and then have some gas still in the tank to repeat the feat. So the Boars have shown that they have a bit of a fight in them. But look, it's early days for them. Still a significant comeback, despite them only being 1 round behind.
They're going to have a much better fight in them coming onto this site than they did last time, as obviously Bekind got a flawless round. Remember, we saw Zayden just feeling very comfortable on the smoke in elbow as Izako Boars just funneled themselves in one by one and handed themselves over, saying, please take my body, take my soul, it's yours. And so this time, they're going to have to play smarter about it if they are to not repeat the mistakes of the past.
Well, that's good. 25 seconds into the round, already dealt with that first Vulcan shield. There's only 1 ADS for Zayden. Likely there's still a reinforcement in the pocket. If they lose elbow, they can reinforce that off. Legends barricading this door at the bottom. Really important barricade. Means that the attackers have to make some noise if they want to sneak through laundry. Walker, Huron Boiler. There's also a shield and ADS here as well. ADS actually could get shot though, should a player just soft peek that angle from blue. And the Twitch drone's actually going to get it anyway, so no peek needed. The Twitch drone not actually taken out. Eventually it is, but Boars have made some really good progress here.
Be kind of shown in the past that they can still survive without the ADS, but as you say, Boars are doing a good job. Royal not able to get anything as he peeks down into Pillar because it's been completely cleared out. Obviously, he got rid of the barbed wire and Reba taking a hefty amount of damage there from the smoke, but this time round, Zayden has moved back. So that control has also been taken. Some good improvements here from Izako. There's the attempt at the impact trick. Reba.
But he actually just impacts the player directly in the face. Reba goes down, not out though. And Bekind won't know about it. No points here in competitive play. Bekind in a decent position. That gas cannon, or that smoke I should say, may allow Reba to get out. Boars have great control here, but that setback with low HP on 3 players may be the death of them.
Royal's going to use the opportunity to try and get a shot through box into supply, but he doesn't actually manage to do it. He does, of course, hold the control here in Pillar, and there are the pings coming out from his teammates, so he knows where those players are, but he's gonna get taken out straight away by El Chico, who manages to win that one. He's on about half HP and maybe feeling the pressure as they know they've lost control of this part of the map, and Nexus, he wins out onto him. Bekind still with 4 players up, as are Izako Boars, but they have a significant HP deficit and still have to battle through the rest of the site. Okay. Nexus being a bit overzealous there as he pushes up onto the tower stairs, basically gives Legends a free kill, and Ours is now ready to get the trade.
But Legends doesn't have to peek. His teammates should have some form of planter now. The cover is there, but planter goes down. Foster doesn't get that diffuser down on the ground, but he goes for the peek. And what is that by the end of it? A 2K from Foster gets off that diffuser to find both players. Honestly, this match is going too fast. My brain can't keep up.
Yeah, it's constant backwards and forwards. And at one minute you think, oh, okay, we can see how this is going to go. And then suddenly they just completely subvert expectations. And all of a sudden it's in a 5-5 scoreline. And you have no idea who's going to win. Cheers.
That was crazy. I still can't get over that. I was 100% thinking, look, honestly, even if the Legends on the stairs doesn't peak now, Bekind should have this. I didn't see how many gas canisters were left from Zidane. I'm pretty sure he was still alive at this point, but the Plantanal wasn't there. But Boars didn't stick the diffuser. They went for kills, and it worked.
The question is it going to work another time? There's only so many times that you can rely on a situation like that to play out in your favor. And now they're going to be revisiting the exact same site. And despite what happened and despite how fortunate it was for Izako Boars in the end, it's still not something you can necessarily recreate with much ease because it was so messy.
Especially that end round. That was the thing that got me concerned for the Boars. But the Bekind, what I'd like to see is them maybe stack a little bit harder in elbow here. Not give... because they don't have Wamai, right? You've just got 3 ADSs and they spread them all out. You can see once again one here at the pillar. This was taken out by the Twitch last time. This time there are 2 ADSs in elbow instead of just the 1 last time. And hopefully that means we can see a bit of a stronger performance from Zidane in that position. Holding on for a bit longer. Keep in mind, though, that the Boars have plenty of util to burn through those 2 ADSs. That's just 4 stun grenades worth. Mexus alone has 3. And then you could use smokes, you can use Selmas. There's so much redundancy of explosives. Legends, is he going to get back to sight in time? Barely does. But the Boars, should they go for a blue take? I think they've got plenty of util to clear this out.
Okay, that took a bit more utility than maybe was wanted to get rid of the Vulcan shield, but it has finally been dispatched with. And you can see the Jaeger Walkero just trying to take position on the tower stairs should anyone come for him. More pressure on him. Actually, he's going to push up quite aggressively.
It's a great nade onto elbow as well. It didn't even get caught by the ADSs because it exploded before it was within range, but it took out the shield regardless. So Bekind are going to be a bit frustrated now. They're actually going to reinforce it off with Zidane still in there. That is so pivotal. And now it's up to the Boars. Are they going to get baited by this? Will they check it? Will they drone it? No, they actually didn't fully reinforce it. They backed off. The Boars, though, they're still checking that angle. And Zidane wants to Rio this. The player peeks, but he loses the fight. That's perfect from Ours. But the drones are falling. For the Boars, they've got none left except for 1. It's a frag fest. What is happening, Gio? 4 versus 3, but they're turning up the heat. 4 versus 2. I can't even stop speaking because the frags keep on coming. All on Legends in a 1 versus 3. Is he going to see the player around in the corner? He is not. The Boars, 2 back-to-back attacks onto that bomb site.
I said that it was very likely they wouldn't be able to recreate what happened in the past, but it turns out they just perfected it instead. It seems so much cleaner and more decisive, and it was a round that worked perfectly for Izako Boars, who now find themselves on match point against the French squad.
Yeah, I think the indication to me that that round came out of nowhere was the fact that I was just, sitting there doing my thing, in my little color caster zone, just talking about stuff, talking about a shield getting destroyed by a grenade. And I'm like, yeah, I'll throw to Geo. I'll throw to, oh no, everyone's dying. And the Boars really screwing up my chemistry here. It's frustrating.
gonna have to have a word with them afterwards. No, it was fine. You did great. Actually, it was funny because when Ours got his second kill, so like usually when one person is casting, you can hear the other one react in the background. But when he got his second kill, it was like my mouth fell open, but I didn't make a noise. I just kind of like was in silence, and I was like, wait, no one knows that I'm reacting. Everyone's at home just thinking about like, wow, yeah, he's really getting into this round. Where the hell's Geo? I just didn't know what to say. That was a great round for him, really showing up for the Boars, and now obviously they only have one more round that they need to do the same thing on if they are to take this whole series. Now, last time they came to attack onto this round, we saw what happened with the Twitch. We had Legends on the roam on the Valkyrie over in Small Tower, but he relinquished that position quite early, which gave Foster the room to move in. He got rid of the Showers corridor default camera, so at that point, Bekind will have known that somebody was around. But then he came in, he got rid of the ADSs and things like that. Now, the round worked out in the favor of Bekind by the end, but the point is they still had a lot of that early utility deletion that Bekind are going to want to prevent.
As it stands, this is the only bomb site that Bekind have won and not lost in this map. But that was only one round, and we've seen that things can turn on a dime. The Boars completely shifted the momentum of this match with that flawless attack onto Kitchen Meeting. They've since managed 2 attacks in a row onto that incredible fortress that is the Laundry Supply bomb site. They just frag out, and look at this already. That rear attic open. Actually going to use a lifeline to destroy the barbed wire. A bit surprised there. Usually you would save that for the shields for the Malusis, but only a maximum of 2 shields available for Bekind. Likely on the Valkyrie and the smoke. Oh, that's a good position there from the Twitch. Couple sprays through the wall, hoping to find the player reinforcing, but Zidane is allowed to survive a bit longer. Likely we'll see Mexus now clear the util on the game's wall from below. That's successful. Impact trick to come through. Misses on the first one. The second one, however, does prevent that Selma from the subsequent detonations, but another Selma on top is going to finish the job easily.
And there's the Twitch drone nearby. Ooh, but caught out straight away before being able to get rid of either the ADS, the mute jammer, and of course there's the wub there as well. So that means El Chico does have more protection than he did last time, and he might not have to rely on getting so aggressive that he did before, where, if you remember correctly, he ran straight out. What a beautiful shot from Foster. Now suddenly that very aggressive defender that caused such a problem last time is no longer there.
Great control of attic there for Izako Boars, and Foster took full advantage, but 4 versus 4 thanks to Walker. Plant going down for hours. This could be it for the Boars on match point.
Looking very calm as they turn things in, and there we go, just kills coming straight in. Only Legends remaining. He has to try and get rid of all 4 players, but it's not an option. And that means Izako Boars, after having an almost disastrous week last week, bring things around to collect their first win here in EU Challenger League.
And out of nowhere as well, they were down, and I was saying this should be pretty cut and dried for Bekind. They had such a good start to their half, but the Boars come back with 4 attacks in a row on Oregon, completely flipping the switch ever since that flawless attack onto Kitchen Meeting, and they just did not stop running. 14-6 at the end of it for Mexus. We criticized him occasionally, but he came out on top, as did the Boars. And that is the first win for the Polish in CL.
A lot more control being exhibited there than was last week, and that's obviously a great start for them. Both teams, in fact, but well, you got a preview of the people who are going to talk about it, so let's just shut up here and send it over to them now.
What are you talking about? What is that preview that showed up? I couldn't